Hi, I'm Alvin. I'm the owner of this little bubble car, as I call it. It's a 1957 BMW Isetta 300. Was purchased by myself about 4 years ago on an impulse buy. I was surfing the net and found this wreck on eBay, and this car was purchased by myself, arrived on a pallet strapped in pieces, and ended up sitting on top of my mechanic's dunny for about a year before we got the courage to start work on it. I was very lucky to find a very good restorer, Paul Henshaw, up at Custom and Classic Cars up in Mount Barker. Paul was pretty much given carte blanche to just give me a turnkey handover, and he worked on the car for about, I think, close to a year. And when I got handed back the car, it was pretty much as is. The car was immediately trucked over to the Motorclassica in Melbourne, where it won Best Microcar in Australia outright on its first attempt, without ever planning to win the show at all. I actually set up to build a car that I could drive rather than being a showpiece, but I'm not unhappy about the outcome of this little baby of mine. I'm gonna give you a quick tour of the little Isetta. As you can see, she was built as a two-seater, although I seriously question whether they're 1.5 seats or 2 seats. The door, it opens like a fridge, so it's fairly unique. And that's the interior. You'll see that the entire steering column moves with the door as it opens. It's got a manual choke, 4-speed, and a reverse gear. Unlike some of the other Isettas built for the British market, this is actually a 4-wheeled Isetta built for the American market. The British market Isettas had 3 wheels because they saved on road tax by having 1 less wheel. This car, being an American market car, came with the 300cc 4-stroke single-cylinder engine. The engine compartment is sitting under this tray, which I'll open up and show you in a sec. As you can see, the rear wheels are actually set closer together than the front wheels. Hence, for some people, it looks more like a 3-wheeler than a 4-wheel car. Just opening up the engine compartment to show you the power extreme that's available on this car. So as you can see, that is the power plant of the vehicle. It's a single-cylinder carbureted car. It's not fast. I'll be lucky to get it past 40 to 45 kilometers per hour. Although there were some racing Isettas that supposedly got up to as fast as 65 miles per hour. Mind you, even at 45 km per hour, it's a pretty scary drive when you consider the vibration from the steering wheel and the drivetrain. This car does have a sunroof, a Webasto style sunroof that you fold back. I think there was an episode of Top Gear where James May famously drove one of these that had 3 wheels and did not have a reverse gear. Jeremy Clarkson, in his mischievousness, pushed James May into the wall, and because he couldn't open the front door, which opened forwards, James May had to climb up through the sunroof. So I thought that was pretty quirky. Now, why did I enter the bay to Birdwood? I've always been a car enthusiast, and I've always loved the older BMWs, starting off with 2002s, which basically stand my love for these cars. I've been lucky enough to have a few cars that could have been entered in the Beta Birdwood, but I chose to enter it in the Isetta because it's quirky, it's probably fairly rare, and she's a car that basically keeps bringing a smile to everyone's faces who sees it. She's definitely not fast. I remember driving on Anzac Highway and being worried about obstructing traffic. I was straddling the bike lanes, and I was lucky enough to find two cyclists hogging the road that I managed to overtake, and you should have seen the fist pumps I kept giving myself when I overtook those cyclists. I'm actually looking forward to the Beta Birdwood. I'm hoping the car makes it up the hill up to Birdwood, but at the very least I'll try and take a run from Glenelg right up to T3 Gully.